honored to be a part of this experience. I think this is an amazing event, so kudos to Nicole and everyone who assisted her in putting this together. This is amazing. And I appreciate her allowing me to kick it off a little bit. So, my husband and I have been friends for a very long, we were friends for a very long time before we started dating. When I say a very long time, I mean a very long time. And I kind of chalk that up to cluelessness or even denial because everyone else saw a connection and we did not. I should have realized that there was something going on when he started to become my first phone call in the morning and I started to become his last phone call at night. Thank you. It wasn't until the thought of possibly losing him where it kind of really clicked that I was starting to have feelings for this guy. You see, he graduated from college, he was a journalism major, and he was top of his class, so he had, you know, tons of ambition. And as a journalism major, he was looking to work at the New York Times or, you know, even the Wall Street Journal, but you need experience in order to get into those places. So he had gotten an offer from the Associated Press, which was a great opportunity for a journalist, but if you know, the Associated Press, they're not sending their newbies to the city. So there was no New York, no LA, no Chicago. We're talking Olympia, Washington, Wichita, Kansas, Podunk, Idaho. So he had some really tough decisions to make. You know, do I stay, do I go? So one night on the phone, he asked me. And at this point, my feelings were growing. So everything in me wanted to scream, don't go, stay for us. But I realized I didn't want that responsibility. I didn't want to be the one to tell him to stay. He had to make that decision on his own, if that's what he was going to do. I didn't want him to have any regrets. God forbid we embarked on this journey and it didn't pan out. I didn't want him to resent me because he stayed for us. So I said, to all the courage that I had, and I said, you know what? I'm not making this decision for you. I shouldn't even be a part of the equation. You have to do what's best for you. So he went back and he thought it through and he did some soul searching and he decided to stay. He said, you know what, my mom's not getting any younger. My nephew was born sick. I want to be home with my family. So I'm jumping for joy, but I'm trying to keep calm. And similar to Nicole, my mother died when I was 17 years old. So I knew that life is short. I knew that life was short. So as soon as he decided I'm staying, I was going to take advantage of the opportunity and I was going to, go in and we were going to start this relationship. I don't even think it was ever official. There was no checkbox, yes, checkbox, no. It just kind of happened organically. So our first official date was to a Common concert. I'm kind of embarrassed to say that this white dude from Flatbush put me on to real hip hop. So we love The Roots, we love Common, we love Black Star. So we go to this Common concert and I'm in heaven. I got my man at my side. I got my boo on stage singing to me, performing for me. But then when Common started to perform The Light and Frank held me a little closer, I knew that I was through. I knew we were done. We were starting. So fast forward a year and a half, and he decided he was going to propose. We end up at yet another Common concert. And while we're in SOBs, I don't know if any of you have been to SOBs, it's a nice, small, intimate environment. We're standing there, hanging around, and Questlove from The Roots walks in. So as he walks past us, Frank taps him on his shoulder and whispers something in his ear. Quest turns to me, holds out his hand, and says, "Hi, I'm Amir." Now I'm like, okay. "Hi, I'm Gabby." So before he's about to say his next thing, Frank taps him on the shoulder again, whispers something else. And he gives me this strange look and says, "Enjoy the show," and he rushes off. So Common comes out, everybody is enjoying it, everyone's feeling, his performance, and in the middle, about halfway through, he starts with, "I never knew a love like this." And I'm like, "Ooh, this is my song, this is our song." Frank's standing behind me, I lean back and I'm grooving, feeling it, and then he taps me on the shoulder. So my first thought is, are you serious? Like, this is our song, the man is performing our song, why are you interrupting? So I slowly turn my head because I'm about to tell him this, and I catch my breath because I am now staring into the most beautiful diamond ring that I've ever seen. So I embrace him, and through my eye sweat, I notice that everyone in the audience is smiling at us. Erykah Badu grabs my hand to check out the bling. Music Soul Child claps Frank on the shoulder. Congratulations. And then Questlove runs over and he snaps a picture. Unbeknownst to me, everyone in the audience knew what was happening. Frank had posted on okplayer.com, and he put on there that he wanted to propose to his girlfriend at this show, so everyone in the audience knew that something was going down there, but me. So the next day, I, again, for some strange reason, decided to email Questlove. I didn't think I was going to get a response. But to my surprise, I get an email back. And Quest includes, attached to this email, the picture that he took of Frank and I. Now, my eyes start sweating again because he captured in that picture the essence of that moment and everything that we felt with each other, felt for each other. So I was completely touched by it. I knew that Common was performing and was completely oblivious to what was going on, or so I thought. A few months later, he was interviewed by a magazine, and I'll read you what he said. At a performance in New York City last December, Common turned to see a man holding a sobbing woman tight. Common was performing The Light, one of his many meditations on true love. He had no idea why the woman was crying. Common's lyrics hit a deeper chord. That weeping woman, Common later learned, had received a marriage proposal during that very song. It's an honor to create music to affect someone's life like that and have something so special be done at one of my concerts. Now, I will say that I wasn't weeping. I was touched, but I overlooked all of that because he remembered. So Common and I, we crossed paths a couple of times throughout the years. Once, I met him at an album signing, and I have it here, he signed our wedding invitation, which was beautiful. And then the next time I saw him, I brought a family picture because I wanted him to see his honorary goddaughters. But his music resonated with me, and it touched me and my husband to the core. When Frank and I started our friendship, I was into another guy. And I called this guy my stuck-on stupid guy. And Frank would play the song over and over for me, and I remember the lyrics. Some guys recognize the light and can't handle the glare. Granted, we've known each other for some time. It don't take a whole day to recognize sunshine. And it didn't. So, another one is lyrics, I'm sorry. There are times when you need someone, I will be by your side. There is a light that shines special for you and for me. And I realized that there was a light that shines special for Frank and I because when we started our relationship, we were both at this place of pain. I was dealing with the loss of my mother. He was dealing with the loss of his father. He was trying to figure out what his next move was going to be. I was trying to get through every day unscathed. And it dawned on me that we were each other's lifelines. And our relationship, it was a matter of survival. We've been married for 12 years, together for 14, I think. And I read somewhere that a perfect marriage is where two imperfect people never give up. And never giving up has always been it for us. Giving up has never been an option. I know there are days where I gotta put on my chapstick, and there are days where, he wants to wring my neck for one reason or the next, but giving up has never been an option. I remember that day in September, 12 years ago, when I walked down the aisle. I had tears streaming down my face because my mother wasn't there, and I was thinking about the pain of my past. But as I looked into the eyes of happiness and saw my future, I knew that the bond that we had would be forever, and it would never be broken. So, yeah, that's it. That's my closing. Thank you so much for taking the time to listen to my story. I really appreciate it, and I am so looking forward to what the rest of this evening brings, and I hope you guys are too. Thank you.
Let's give brother